Hey family, Pastor Willingham here. I invite you again to subscribe to this channel. I wanted to talk with you about responding to God's call on your life in 2023. Have you responded to God's call? If you're going to, again, open the door to the next level of your life, the next level of what God has for you is going to involve you responding. To God's call. How we react to God matters, and we're going to see that here with Moses. We're looking at Exodus 3, verses 3 and 4, and we're going to see this again with Moses. Moses has a great call upon his life, but to get on the pathway to fulfilling that call and the greatness of his life required that he respond to God. And so I say that to us that in us is greatness, and sometimes what's holding us back from going to the next level in God is our response to God. It's not that God hasn't already put something great in you. It's how are you going to respond? And so I encourage you in this year to consider the ways that God is trying to get your attention and then give God the appropriate response. And so I'm looking here again, Exodus 3, verse 3 and 4. And Moses said, I will not turn aside to see this great sight, why the bush is not burned. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And so this burning bush story here is again an example of how God does certain things in our lives. To first see, are we paying attention? Are we aware of God? Are we God conscious? And what events in your life, what burning bushes, I'm going to say, have you had? What things that seem ironic to you or strange coincidences that have happened? And I submit to you that there are a number of ways that everybody's burning bush will be different. The way God uniquely works with each of us will be just that. It'll be unique to you, but there's some unique way that God in your environment, in your life, in your world is trying to get your attention. And he's waiting to see if you're aware of him before he can use you. Number one, you have to be aware of God's presence in your life before. And so God didn't call Moses until he saw that Moses was aware, that he saw Moses was conscious of who he was. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, when he saw that Moses was willing to pay attention, sensitive to the way God was operating in his life, then God called him. Then God called him. And then Moses responded to God saying, Here am I. And so, how are you responding to God in 2023? Again, I encourage you to subscribe. Have a great rest of your day. Consider how you're responding to God in 2023. And God bless you. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.